This is 6 Minutes, the Seriously International Daily Newscast. It's Monday, May 12th. I'm Jacob Shropshire.
And I'm Anne-Sophie Goninet. The day is dawning in Montreal while the sun is setting in Taipei. Here under cloudy skies in the World Watch newsroom in Paris, it's just after midday. These are the latest headlines. Ukraine reports Russian drone attacks after Moscow turns down a ceasefire proposal. Netanyahu rejects a truce after Hamas confirms the release of an American hostage. And our daily quiz question is about a marathon world record. Our top story today is the announcement Monday that the U.S. and China have reached an agreement to slash tariffs on each other's goods for 90 days. This marks a major de-escalation of the country's trade war. Speaking after talks with Chinese officials in Geneva, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said both sides will cut tariffs by 115% beginning Wednesday. That will bring U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports down from 145% to 30%, while Chinese tariffs on U.S. goods will fall to 10% from 125%. Markets reacted positively to the announcement as the deal boosted hopes a global recession might be avoided. Ukraine reported on Monday that Russia launched more than 100 Shahed and decoy drones in nighttime attacks. This comes after the Kremlin rejected an unconditional 30-day ceasefire proposed by the US and European leaders over the weekend. Russia hasn't responded yet to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who said he would be, quote, waiting for Putin in Turkey on Thursday personally for face-to-face peace talks. In Gaza, Hamas says it will release Israeli-American hostage Eden Alexander, believed to be the last living captive with U.S. nationality in the Palestinian enclave. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responded that there would be no ceasefire and that plans for an intensified military campaign would continue. This comes as U.S. President Donald Trump is set to visit Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates starting Tuesday. In Turkey, the Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, announced a historic decision Monday to disband and disarm, ending 40 years of armed conflict with the Turkish state. The PKK's original claim was to carve out a homeland for Kurds, but in recent years, the group has instead called for more autonomy within Turkey. A ceasefire was holding Monday after nearly 4 days of intense shelling and aerial incursions between India and Pakistan. Top military officials from the two countries are due to speak Monday to discuss the next steps of the ceasefire agreed between both countries over the weekend. For our More Than a Minute feature today, we look into lingering questions about the militant past of Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara, and we're doing it through the lens of basketball. Jacob, tell us about the link between sports and al-Shara's history.
Yes, it turns out Ahmed al-Shara is a basketball player, and it's just the latest update in the biography of the man we once called by his nom de guerre, Abu Mohammed al-Julani. Last week's image reset came by way of a home video shared online, showing al-Shara shooting baskets with compatriots. In an article for Daraj, the Beirut-based Arabic language media, Tariq Ismail writes that, quote, the basketball-playing al-Shara offers a vision full of intelligence, as he practiced his hobby with some modest skill. His is a form of intelligence that is meant to stimulate our own intelligence, and it did.
How exactly was Ismail's intelligence stimulated?
He writes that al-Shara's, quote, modern activities are ultimately addressed outside of Syria, to all those who might follow basketball and to the West more broadly. It is an artificial modernity whose manifestations dissolve completely before the Syrian blood spilled along sectarian lines, either by al-Shara's direct command or by his silence. Ishmael notes that 5 months after ousting Bashar al-Assad, bloody attacks are being carried out against religious minorities like the Alawites and Druze. Al-Shara's leadership is what he calls a hybrid rule, where he blends an entertaining and popular Western style, including his having fun on the basketball court, with remnants of his radical Islamist past. This image of the basketball-playing moderate could wind up deceiving the Western mind, Ishmael writes, not because the West is necessarily easily deceived, but because such deception aligns with Western interests. Everything about Ahmed al-Shara, Ishmael concludes, indicates that he is still haunted by his nom de guerre, Abu Muhammad al-Jalani.
We're closing things out today with our daily quiz question, which is about a marathon world record. A 37-year-old Frenchman set a new world record by completing a marathon while wearing what? A. A three-piece suit. B. Pajamas. C. An inflatable sumo costume. Or D. A wedding dress. The answer is B. Emmanuel Bonnier has beaten a little-known world record over the weekend after he finished a marathon wearing pajamas in the French city of Saumur. He beat the previous record held by a British man by more than 4 minutes. It's not the first time the 37-year-old has taken up such a challenge, as he held the record for a marathon run in a three-piece suit in 2023, but Bonnier lost his crown 2 weeks ago at the London Marathon.
That's the latest from around the world. If you liked this podcast, we would really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, a share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcoach.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. A demain.